How do you keep your balance while walking a tightrope 421 meters in the air? Performer Philippe Petit's answer was to learn to listen to the wire's rhythm. To truly master the wire, you have to recognize that it's alive. You even have to feel it breathe. Once you lock into the rhythm of its breathing, you sync your own breath with it. And just like that, Philippe stepped across the wire and reached the North Tower without a hitch. He'd done it, but he wasn't satisfied. He looked back the way he came, and a bold idea hit him. He was going to walk it again, and this time, just walking wasn't enough. Halfway across, Philippe dropped to one knee. Blood from his wound seeped through and stained the sole of his shoe. He wanted to pay tribute to the wire, and to the entire city below. The crowd on the other side erupted in thunderous applause. Philippe rose and kept walking toward the South Tower. But by then, police had already reached the rooftop and were trying to talk him down. Philippe just turned around and headed back toward the North Tower. Every tightrope walker knows never to look down, but Philippe faced downward and knelt on the balancing pole. In that moment, there was no fear, no hesitation, just a calm he had never felt before. Petit was fully in his element now, with police and crowds watching from both sides. He did something he had never done before. He set down the balancing pole, knelt in midair, and spread his arms wide, completely surrendering himself to the breathtaking and deadly height. Then he went even further, lying down on the wire, even doing a little dance up there. That's when the roar of engines filled the air. Since Philippe refused to come down, the police had no choice but to send in a helicopter with a final warning. It was time to bring this spectacular show to a close. Philippe rested the balancing pole across the back of his neck and walked toward the South Tower like a king making his return. But with only 3 steps left, his foot suddenly began to tremble, sending the wire into a violent shake. Was he really going to fall at the very last second after all of this? But no, it was just Philippe messing around. He tossed the balancing pole aside and stepped back onto the roof. For violating over 100 city regulations, Philippe was arrested on the spot. But his breathtaking performance had completely won over the crowd. Media outlets raced to cover the story. Given that Philippe's stunt hadn't caused any serious harm, the judge sentenced him to perform aerial rope shows for children in Central Park's trees as punishment. On top of that, Philippe was given a lifetime pass to the Twin Towers. He could go up to the roof whenever he wanted and relive the most incredible moment of his life. Years later, Philippe returned to the Twin Towers one more time, and he could almost still see that wire stretching endlessly ahead of him. Just like his love for the tightrope, it had no end.